Angry commenter warning. This is a rebuttal of Nathaniel Bandy's How Sonic Adventure 2 Triggers You video. I do not hate Nathaniel, his fans, or his videos, and it's okay if he is not a fan of this game. I just don't like the video. If you get offended by this video or its title, why are you still here? But if you want to stay, I won't stop you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello guys, this is Malachi Branch Reviews here, and I am making a rebuttal on Nathaniel Bandy's How Sonic Adventure 2 Triggers You video. I'm making this video because I think most of his reasons are either not true, I disagree with them, or they are just plain stupid. And this is going to be a similar styled video to Ruby of Blue's video on why he disagrees with Pro Jared's review of Sonic Adventure 2. And before anybody says this, yes, I know this is his opinion, and it's okay if he doesn't like this game. I'm just saying that his video does not have very good reasoning for the most part. If I do not respond to something in this video, it either means it's something I agree with, I know is a joke, or is just not worthy of being mentioned. But anyway, let's get started on this rebuttal.
Like Sonic Adventure 1, this game takes itself way too seriously. Let's be real, this is the only good stage in the entire game.
Now, I don't know if he's joking or not, but if he is not joking, I'm going to respond to this. Are you sure this is the only good stage in the entire game? I mean, have you not played stages like Green Forest, White Jungle, or Cosmic Wall, Weapons Bed, most other stages? And again, it's okay if you think that, but still, like, this isn't the only good stage in this game. Like, come on, bro.
Not Oma Chow? Oh yay, Shadow the Edgelord makes his debut.
Please tell me this is a freaking joke. I know that it may seem like he's like this emo goth guy, but Shadow extends more than just being edgy the Edgelord. I mean, he's the ultimate life form, and he has personality other than just, oh, I'm so edgy, aren't I? He shows that he has care for Maria, and at first he wanted to destroy the Earth people or the Earth, but then he realizes that Maria actually said he wanted them to protect them, and he changes his intentions. And I'm just saying, Shadow is not just edgy the Edgelord. He's actually a very well-developed character. Although, who knows, maybe this is just a joke, but so.
Playing SA2 is habit forming, don't turn off. Do you want to pay my electric bill, Sega? As awesome as this scene looks, we all know the truck isn't going to hit Sonic anyway. And besides, you can just push the truck back uphill by homing on it. Would recommend invincibility first, though. You know, guys, let's be real for a second. This boss fight is just so intricate and thought-provoking and just complex. The details, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, Sonic Team really outdid themselves here. Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, hey, would you prefer it if you had to play that very hair-pulling and frustrating second Tails vs. Eggman fight? I mean, yeah, this boss is easy, but hey, at least it's not hair-pulling.
There's an awkward sexual tension between Knuckles and Rouge. Also, why does Rouge have such large tatas? These swimming controls are just awful. The emerald pieces will only signal off one at a time, so you could be missing other emeralds, but you wouldn't know it.
So they trigger off one at a time, and you would be missing other emeralds, but you wouldn't know it. Do you hear how stupid that sounds? I mean, just collect the one emerald that's triggering, and then go back to the next area. The other one will trigger off. Do you see how stupid that is with what you said?
Gotta love how the background is literally just a JPEG picture of some city. Like, you know, I understand technology was limited back then, but holy crap does it look bad.
You go but the next time we meet, you won't be so lucky.
Once again, the sound mixing is terrible for the cutscenes. Knuckles and Rouge move way too fast for stages where you're supposed to take your time and explore.
The fast speed is supposed to help you get around corners and make to where you can get the stage done quicker. And you can also be really skillful with your speed when you're getting the emeralds, and with the speed it also just helps you to where you can look around the area quicker. And when you said that you're supposed to take your time and look around, have you tried getting an A rank? The speed might help. Just saying.
Listening to Knuckles' pet chow is a little disturbing.
Now there, yosh.
I take that back. Eggman is worse. There is no strategy for the Tails and Eggman stages. You just walk forward and win.
You know, if we're being technical here, you're also supposed to run around the stage, jump on platforms, fly around or hover. So, yeah, it's more than just walk forward and win. Also, you said how there's no strategy, that point's gonna come back in one of my points. Just keep that point in mind. It'll be useful.
Is everyone in this game really this stupid?
Nathaniel, you're ignoring this beautiful little word called context. The game is meant to be where it's like, or where there are people who are usually on Sonic's side are turned against them, and it works. Also, for the characters supposedly being stupid, the people have seen Sonic running around using the Chaos Emeralds and transforming into Super Sonic, so they might just assume that Shadow is another one of Sonic's forms. Plus, if you look at Shadow and Super Sonic, both of their quills are curved upwards, too. And not to mention, that's just one simple thing. And Eggman, if you watch the rest of the cutscene, you'll see that Eggman recognizes as not Sonic. So, yeah, that point doesn't really make that much sense. Also, Nathaniel, you might try to counterpoint and say, well, they show a close-up of Shadow on the news. Well, first of all, Fox News and CNN exist, so unreliable and stupid news networks aren't completely out of the ordinary. And you also may try to counter-argue that there are specific gun members who would know what Shadow looks like, but how would other gun members, other than those who are given clearance, know where Shadow is? And also, upon the thing that I said about the context, Shadow was moving at blitzed speeds at night, so of course they're gonna assume it's Sonic, because it's a fast hedgehog.
Okay, seriously? These one-on-one fights between Sonic and Shadow just feel so awkward. Like, when you hit them, there's no satisfying pow sound effect. They just blank and say a catchphrase. Why on earth is there rap music in a Sonic game?
Well then, why are there dead memes and pictures that you can't see in old Nathaniel Bandy videos? Also, about the Shadow and Sonic fights, how there's not a satisfying oomph noise. Is that all you're satisfied with? Also, that's just the first fight. The second Shadow and Sonic fight, when you go up to arenas and do a light dash, it actually feels satisfying to hit Sonic or Shadow with that sound effect. Also, about the rap music with Knuckles, I watched your How Sonic Adventure Triggers You video, and you didn't complain about Knuckles theme in that one, so why is it suddenly a problem here?
The driving stages are just torture. You just go forward with no obstacles or anything interesting.
Yeah, I understand that the Tails kart racing segments aren't exactly the most interesting thing, but they're not torture. I mean, there's a reason why they exist. Like, Tails needed to catch up to the president because he saw his car. And not to mention, it exists because they wanted to implement the kart racing minigame into the story mode, so it made sense. Also, when you said there's no obstacles or anything interesting, In the Rouge ones, if you overshoot a loop, or I think even with Tails, you can die and you can restart the stage. So, what do you mean there's no obstacles?
You can get this boost from driving, but there's no cool effects when that happens. You just go faster.
Well, no shit. It's called a boost for a reason. You go faster. Also, about there being no cool effects, that's just something petty. I mean, it doesn't have to have cool effects. A boost exists, so that way you can go faster.
Okay, honestly, all you hear in these stages are... If you don't like your chow, well, you can tell it to f*** off and leave it in the daycare for forever. Did you also know that Sonic is a sellout? Well, he is. His own shoes are a product placement for soap. Good job.
Wait for me, okay, Sonic? I'm on my way.
I am reading off a script too, but you would never know.
Dude, come on. He was only like 13 at the time he was recording this, and maybe he was just forgetting his lines often, so... Yeah, and there are YouTubers who read off scripts too, like, I remember you... Don't you usually go off of scripts, Nathaniel?
The camera here is awful. It's so jittery and it just does whatever it wants. It's so easy to fall off of a golem's back.
Well, that was your fault, Nathaniel, and if you weren't going so freaking fast, or, you know, just stop moving and jump to the next platform, that wouldn't have happened.
How on earth does Eggman jump without moving his knees first? Man, do I hate this level. I never know where I'm supposed to go, and the freaking doors opening and closing just pisses me off.
Okay, I have plenty of problems with this. Okay, first of all, one, you not knowing where you're supposed to go, if you just look around the area that you're in, or like the stage, the emerald piece radar will trigger and you'll know what you're doing, and if you just walk around, you'll know. Also, the doors opening and closing, it just pisses you off. It's probably because you weren't so fast, and you were too slow. Also, not knowing where you're supposed to go, if the door opens, yeah, that's probably where you're supposed to go, so that point is just stupid to me.
Sonic, I thought I'd never see you again.
Lord have mercy. I can't take the stupidity any longer. Who would feed cute little chow vials that look like they're filled with chemicals and shit? You know how for the shooting stages, you just have to shoot all the things and you're good to go? Well, without warning, you can't shoot these doors or you blast to the vacuum in space and die.
Okay, how is that even a problem? You say that it's a bad thing that those things shoot you out into space and without warning. You probably shouldn't shoot those. Also, remember what you said earlier, Nathaniel.
There is no strategy for the Tails and Eggman stages. You just walk forward and win.
And then a couple points later, you go out and say this.
You know how for the shooting stages, you just have to shoot all the things and you're good to go? Well, without warning, you can't shoot these doors or you blast to the vacuum in space and die.
That's just so freaking contradictory. At first you say that there's no strategy, but once you get to that level, and those things shoot you out into space, the player has to come up with this little thing, what they call, oh yeah, a strategy. So, don't say one thing when you're gonna, so don't say there's no strategy, and then basically say you have to come up with a strategy at a later stage. You just can't have both.
There is no good reason for this stage to be the size of Jupiter. Who am I fighting here? Knuckles or the camera? Anyone else feel like half this game is just watching things happen and not actually being in control?
Oh boy, I'm about to go ham on this guy. Okay, first you're saying half the game you just watch things and you're not in control. Okay, they serve as transitional periods for the stages, so that way you can get to the next point when you're going fast. Also, if you really have a problem with the loops and stuff, if you're creative enough, go half loop and then jump to the next platform if you have such a problem with it. Also, when you're up to those loops, if you're not holding forward, you'll just stop moving entirely. So, that point is just so freaking stupid.
Sometimes when I'm trying to do a light dash, I'll start building speed for a spin dash because both moves are mapped to the same button when they shouldn't be. This constantly changing gravity thing really doesn't work well.
All I honestly have to say here is just that I disagree with you. like, when you're at different points in gravity, Sonic actually controls perfectly fine, and not to mention that stage is meant to be more difficult than the other stages because it's near the end of the game. So, yeah, that's all I really have to say. Didn't make me as mad as the previous point, but still, he just controls perfectly fine.
As if the treasure hunting stages weren't annoying enough, for Security Hall you have to complete it in less than 5 minutes.
If you listen to the dialogue, they say you have to complete it in exactly 5 minutes. You just showed it under 5 minutes because you were at a certain point in the stage, while not exactly showing the beginning of it. Also, it's not a bad thing that you have to complete it quicker, because the level's encouraging you for your slow ass to try to get the emeralds quicker. Also, it's not the game's fault that you're not good at the game. You should probably just try to improve if you're not very good at it. And if you don't have the patience and time to get better at the game, I don't know what to say.
Did you see it? Where is it now?
If I tell ya, will you marry me?
So when you get to the third lap, the timer seems to freeze at 99 seconds, but later on it'll start counting down. That means there was no effort in adding an extra digit. That is so sad. Come on, why on earth are the clues words randomly scrambled? Like, as this stage isn't already annoying enough, you know, at this point, just make everything invisible, okay? Everything just invisible. Let's see. Oh, also make the controls inverted, and make sure we can only play with our toes or we can't get an A rank, okay? Ugh. So yeah, Mad Space literally drives me mad. Now that I think about it, why is Tails in a mech suit anyway? Wouldn't it just be easier and more efficient to fly around in his plane instead?
I think Tails is running around in a mech probably because the game developers wanted to make something similar to how Gamma was in Sonic Adventure 1. And also, would you prefer this game if it was over really, really quickly? And about the plane flying, I saw also, referring back to your SA1 triggered video, you said that you didn't really like those small plane segments, so, yeah.
You wouldn't believe how many times I'm just moving forward and an enemy drops down in front of me. That's real fair.
You clearly had enough time to react to that robot, Nathaniel. All you needed to do was jump up and home and attack him. Again, you shouldn't blame your own faults as problems with the game. That's not how it works.
The real villain is this creepy little girl. Whatever you do, just don't look into her eyes.
So, how did you know it wasn't the real one?
Tails!
Because you just told me, Fox Boy.
In order to collect the final stage in the game, you have to collect all 180 emblems. That's right, you got 100% this game. And if you somehow manage to do that, what do you get for all of your hard work and effort? Frickin' Green Hill Zone, the one Sonic stage that's been recreated in every other Sonic game in existence. Hallelujah!
Okay, yes, I understand that it may have been disappointing to get a 3D Green Hill Zone after getting all the emblems, but to say it's been recreated in every other Sonic game, it's just false. I mean, it hasn't been recreated in Adventure 1, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic 06, the Mario and Sonic games, and not in the Sonic X games, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't in Sonic Advance 3 either, so the claim it's been in every single Sonic game in existence, every other one, that's just not true, and plus, I doubt you've even played every single one of them. So you can't just say every other Sonic game has recreated Green Hill Zone. You probably haven't played every single Sonic game. Like, seriously, that's just unacceptable in my book. Anyway, guys, that was the video. And again, I would like to say that I do not hate Nathaniel Bandy. I actually do think he is a good YouTuber, and I do like quite a bit of his videos. And I'm not being insulted, and I'm not insulting the fans either. I'm just saying that this video is not good in my opinion. If I really disagree with most of the points, and if I just think some of them are just wrong, it doesn't exactly make a completely good video. And also, some people might say, "Oh, but it is a joke. You're not supposed to take this seriously." Have you exactly read what the beginning of the video even says?
Most opinions shared aren't accurate to my true thoughts and feelings.
He said most of his opinions aren't accurate. He said most, not every single point. He didn't say, this entire video is a joke, none of my points are actually, I don't actually think them. And you may or may not know when he's joking and if he's being serious. And also, even if it is a joke, that doesn't excuse the fact that I think most of his points are not very good. But anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to predict that this is probably going to get either quite a bit of views or not very many views because I'm being critical of another YouTuber.